Hello again, and welcome back to Granny Dorothy Visits. Today's topic is Embrace Silence. And the first reading from Everyday Positive Thinking, Louise Hay's book. And the quote is from Doreen Virtue. Make time to relax, be still, and enjoy your solitude, indulging in much-needed self-care. And the next reading, actually the only one I'm going to do today, is the 10 Secrets for Success and Inner Peace from Dr. Wayne Dyer. And if you like any of these readings, please hit subscribe and maybe a thumbs up or a like or whatever. I'd appreciate it. Thank you. Embrace silence. You live in a noisy world, constantly bombarded with loud music, sirens, construction equipment, jet airplanes, rumbling trucks, leaf blowers, lawn mowers, and tree cutters. These human-made, unnatural sounds invade your senses and keep silence at bay. In fact, you've been raised in a culture that not only eschews silence, but is terrified of it. The car radio must always be on, and any pause in conversation is a moment of embarrassment that most people quickly fill with chatter. For many, being alone is a nightmare, and being alone in silence is pure torture. The famous scientist Blaise Pascal observed, "All man's miseries derive from not being able to sit quietly in a room alone." The value of silence. There's a momentary silence in the space between your thoughts that you can become aware of with practice. In this silent space, you'll find the peace that you crave in your daily life. You'll never know that peace if you have no spaces between your thoughts. The average person is said to have 60,000 separate thoughts every day. With so many thoughts, there are almost no gaps. If you could reduce that number by half, you would open up an entire world of possibilities for yourself. For it is when you merge into the silence and become one with it that you reconnect to your source and know the peacefulness that some call God. "Be still and know that I am God," says it so beautifully in the Psalms of the Old Testament. The key words are still and know. Be still actually means silence. Mother Teresa described silence and its relationship to God by saying, "God is the friend of silence." See how nature, trees, grass grow in silence. See the stars, the moon, and the sun, and how they move in silence. We need silence to be able to touch souls. This includes your soul. It's really the space between the notes that make the music you enjoy so much. Without spaces, all you would have is one continuous noisy note. Everything that's created comes out of silence. Your thoughts emerge from the nothingness of silence. Your words come out of this void. Your very essence emerged from emptiness. Those who will supersede us are awaiting in the vast void. All creativity requires some stillness. Your sense of inner peace depends on spending some of your life energy in silence to recharge your battery, remove tension and anxiety, reacquaint you with the joy of knowing God, and feel closer to all of humanity. Silence reduces fatigue and allows you to experience your own creative juices. The second word in the Old Testament of the Old Testament observation, know, refers to making your personal and conscious contact with God. To know God is to banish doubt and become independent of others' definition and description of God. Instead, you have your own personal knowing. And as Melvin reminded us so poignantly, God's one and only voice is silence. Accessing more silence in your life. I urge you to demand more and more time for silence in your life. One of the most effective ways to bring this about is to make meditation a daily practice. And remember, there's no such thing as a bad meditation. Give yourself time to sit quietly alone. At first, your thoughts will take off, trying to convince you that this is a waste of time, that you should be out there producing, and that you've got so many other things to do. Hundreds of other unrelated thoughts will pop in and out of your mind. But you can weather this thunderstorm of mental protestations by sitting quietly and becoming the observer to all of this inner chatter. Eventually, you'll be able to move to the gaps between your thoughts and notice how peaceful you felt in that silent gap when you emerge from it. Try it right now. Use the Lord's Prayer. First, concentrate on the word our, and then Father. Try to go into the gap between the words our and Father. Then do it again with who and art and in heaven. Just slip momentarily into the gap and notice how peaceful and exquisite you feel in that gap. I teach a meditation which I describe in detail and guide you through with my voice in a CD and app called Meditations for Manifesting. This meditation uses the sound of as a mantra to keep your thoughts from wandering during the morning meditation. This mantra sound is in virtually all the names of the divine. Listen for it. For example, in God, Yahweh, Allah, Krishna, Jehovah, Ra, and Ptah. By repeating this mantra sound, you make conscious contact with God. The evening meditation uses the sound of the sound of gratitude for all that has manifested in your life. Repeat the sound of in the morning and in the evening for approximately 20 minutes. Creates an opportunity for you to experience inner peace and success in a way you may have never known before. There are many opportunities to access silence. I try to meditate each time I stop at a red light. With the car stopped and my body inactive, frequently the only things still moving are the thoughts in my mind. I use those 2 minutes or so at the stoplight to bring my mind into harmony with my inert car and body. I get a wonderful bonus of silence. I probably stop at a red light 20 or 30 times a day, creating 40 minutes to an hour of silence. And there's always someone behind me to let me know that my time is up by breaking the silence with a honking horn. Yeah, ain't that the truth? But that's, as usual, is some good advice from Dr. Wayne Dyer, and we've heard it so many times, and Norman Vincent Peale, all of them saying the same thing. We need to have silence. We need to have our quiet time. We need to have our time to commune with God. It will give us our peace and love within that we can share with the world. And boy, the world sure needs that, eh? So I send you my love. Until next week, bye for now.